Hey everybody, I'm ready to give y'all a houseplant tour of what I've got so far, and the collection is still growing. Trying to get this collection in as much as possible before I have to go ahead and start purchasing stuff for my outside vegetable garden expansion. So this is the ZZ plant. I can't pronounce the actual name. ZZ is for short, and this is a Zenzi variety. It stays pretty dry like a succulent or a cactus, and it's happy in like next to no light. Okay, down here I've got a golden pothos with new growth on it. And right now, a lot of the houseplants aren't really doing much because it's winter time. They kind of go dormant during this time of year. But this one is actually doing pretty good, and I gotta look at those leaves. And I have to rotate it about once a week because they grow towards the sun, and I want to make sure it's getting even growth. This is my Lime Life Dracaena. I obviously have two plants, and I tried to separate them, but I didn't want to tear up the roots and have a big old mess, so I just kept it like that. These tolerate being pretty dry too, and if you could see at the tips, I was overwatering them, and it stopped when I just kind of let them dry up. So I don't water my Dracaena. I said Dracaena. Dracaena, Dracaena, whatever. I've heard a couple different pronunciations. This is a Dracaena corn plant, and again, I was overwatering it, and now I let it dry up, and it's doing fine. I did cut the tips off because, yeah, I read somewhere that that helps stop it if it's like fungal or something, but it's not fungal. It's due to overwatering. Here's my Algalonema King of Siam, or Siam Aurora. This plant is still in a hydroponic container in there, but it's a slow grower, so I got time to repot it and cut that hydroponic container off of it. It was one plant that I bought at Lowe's that I split into 3 and gifted to. And it dries, it has medium watering requirements. I let it dry out about almost all the way down, and then I give it a good watering again. It looks like, I'm not sure what's going on. It might just lose that leaf just because. The dining room has basically become the main star of the plants, but really we don't do a lot with the dining room. We don't have a lot of company or anything like that. So this room doesn't get used very much, and it's kind of become my studio for sewing, plants, gardening. I've gardened in this, started seeds last year in this room, and I'll probably do that again this year. Preparing for puppies. I brought my grow light in here. It was in the laundry room, but we're going to stick Mama and when she has her puppies in the laundry room because we got one baby gate, and it's just going to keep the mess in it more contained. And since I've done clean this room and added a bunch of plants, yeah, it's just better there. Anyway, I got a Chinese money plant. I've got 2 Trandoscadia inch plant wandering Jew plants. This is a Hoya Abavada, I want to say, splash. It doesn't have any new growth on it yet, but I do have a Hoya with some new growth on it. This is a Syngonium strawberry cream, or an arrowhead vine. It's got new growth on it too. This is a variegated spider plant that is having some transplant shock. I've already pulled off some dead leaves on it, but it'll thrive. It'll be happy and it'll thrive. This is a philodendron, I want to say a Congo, maybe, perhaps. They pretty much have the same requirements as the pothos plants. Some of them want more humidity than others, but yeah, that's a philodendron of some sort. We'll see as it grows. I was told it's horsehead, but I'm just not seeing horsehead at all on it. I can post a picture of horsehead here. I'll put one. This is a snake plant. I'm not sure what the variety is. I bought it in a bundle with a Wandering Jew plant at Menards for $5. And I'm like, hey, look, I got 2 plants for $5 here. I can't pass that up. It's had some fungal issues, and I've took off several of the leaves. I'm propagating one, and I've sprayed it with neem oil. This is a Rex begonia, and I'm not sure what the variety is. There's so many different varieties of begonia. Your wax ones are the ones that you grow outside that bloom flowers. Then you got cane begonias and Rex begonia, and I'm sure there's other kinds. And then there's even more under each one of those types of begonias. So this is just a Rex begonia. This is a Ginny peperonia. It's lost 1 leaf so far. I'm not sure what this spot is. Maybe a little overwatering. I'm not sure, but it seems to be doing pretty good. This is some sort of a monstera. Some monstera require medium humidity and some require higher, like this Monstera standuliana. This one definitely wants high humidity, but they do want to dry out slowly. So this one's under a pebble tray, which I'm going to yeah, maybe I ought to add more water to my pebble trays today. This is a Belize rubber plant. This definitely likes to dry out. It's got them thicker leaves on it. And the rule of thumb is most of the time, the thicker the leaves or stems, like the ZZ plant, they're going to hold water like succulents, cacti, so you don't water them as often. So they're very easy plants to take care of. If you're forgetful and skip a watering, they're going to do just fine. And look, it's got new growth on it. So I'm going to want to fertilize this before long. This is an Algonema silver evergreen. And it's doing great down here in low light, just like the Dieffenbachia Camille. I bought this plant in this shape, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I did prune it up a little bit. Got to be a little bit careful with this plant, though, because this is also called dumb cane, and they use these plants for not just the Camille variety, but other Dieffenbachia to close people's throats up so they can't talk back in the day. Evil people, but yeah. Luckily, my critters don't really mess with the plant stands anymore. The kittens were using this as a jungle gym, and they got sprayed with the spray bottle and knocked off of it several times, so they pretty much leave it alone, unless you're just trying to tempt me, aren't you? Okay, over here is a Fernwood Sansevieria, or they've now reclassified them as Dracaena as well. Dracaena, Dracaena, tomato. This is a satin pothos. It's got a little bit of dry edges, but I'm not sure what that is. It's maintained that for a while, so I'm not too concerned. I might see some new growth. Hold on. Right there. That's potentially new growth. Not quite sure yet. Because that is a node. See how it's kind of got a joint right there and the little line in the stem? That's a node. That's where you're going to get roots from and new leaves. I'm not sure what this Hoya is, but this Hoya looks like it's getting new growth on it. See right there in the node? And I have just a regular string of hearts that I'm trying to salvage. It was in a bunch of soaking sphagnum moss, and it already had a little bit of roots on it, so I'm wondering if it doesn't want to dry out. I pulled off a lot of dead vines on it, and this one's also thicker leaf. It's also a succulent type, and so if these leaves don't curl like a taco when you push them together, they do not need watered. Here in the kitchen's my little propagation station, and you see how fancy it is, just some shot glasses. I'm trying to propagate some Rex begonias because supposedly if you propagate your own Rex begonias, they do better in your household environment. Here's the snake plant that I am propagating. I see little wisps of, hold on, little wisps of roots on it when it's in the water. See if you can see the little wisps. But yeah, nothing substantial yet, so it's just going to hang out. Then I'm trying to propagate some more wandering Jews so I can just put all those wandering Jews in one pot and make a nice fuller pot anyway. And they've got little wisps on them as well for the roots. Let me see if I can make that dance a little bit for you. See them? The little fine hairs growing along the bottom. It kind of looks cloudy. And down here is my prayer plant slash definitely high humidity room. It gets a little bit of condensation humidity from the toilet tank there. I also got pebble trays underneath it, and I've found out that I'm probably overwatering this Calathea rosposita rosy. Look down here, the leaves, they're all purple fully, but then as they mature and get older and get more sunlight, they turn green like this. So they start off really purple, which I don't think I have any really purple leaves anymore. But yeah, with too much sunlight and over time, they just become green. I bought it this way. I still think it's a pretty plant. Here's my Piper nigrum, and I've already lost a leaf on it. I think it's because it's being overwatered. See the black and the light right there? That's a sign of overwatering, but it was shipped wet, and so I'm just waiting for it to dry out, basically. I'm hoping it can be salvaged. I really do. Who doesn't want to grow peppercorns in their house? All right, this is a lemon lime maranta, and it's also getting overwatered. But yeah, I've lost one leaf on it. Trying to salvage it. I might need to put better drainage soil in these plants. Maybe just take it out and refresh it with a little more coco coir. And maybe a little bit more pumice. I think will do just fine. This is my pinstripe Calathea ornata, and it looks like these leaves need dusted, but look how fake it looks. But then you see the imperfections from slightly overwatering, and you realize it's not fake. But underneath it's dark purple like the rosposita. And I've taken off about 4 leaves on it. Right now these plants are just kind of dormant. They're not really doing much because it's wintertime. But yeah, what I love about this plant is the pink hand-painted look stripes on it. They're just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. In the upstairs bathroom, I have not much to talk about. A silver dollar vine that is a leaf, and I let this one dry out because it just, it's one of them thicker leaf succulent type plants that likes high light, so it seems to be doing fine here in the bathroom window. So I'm just leaving it there. Now I'll go show you one more plant that I've got. And that is my aloe plant. I'm pretty sure it needs repotted. There's been, the roots look like they're not doing so hot down here. They're coming out. I did order some terracotta 4-inch plants on Amazon, and I'm waiting them to come in the mail. I had this in the upstairs bathroom, which is a west-facing window as well, and I thought maybe they just need higher light, so I stuck them in my bedroom window, which is a south-facing window, and it's still just looking the same, so definitely needs repotted. I definitely like to keep these kind of plants upstairs because I really want to grow aloe, and I've killed aloe several times, so it's kind of like on my bucket list to grow a nice, beautiful aloe plant. So I'm not going to give up on aloe. But yeah, I definitely got to repot this. All right, that's all she wrote for my houseplant tour for now, and I will let you know when I get more houseplants and how everything else is doing later on. Hey, thank you for stopping by. I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless y'all.